Let's see what we got so far. See if this is even worth redeeming. I don't know, man. This is just today's song. I'm in my head once again, trying to find a way out, but it never seems to end. Everything is different, thought it would be the same. I'm holding on to you, but I'm burning in flames. I'm burning in flames. What's there left to say? Can't cope with the pain. Replay, walk away. You don't feel the same, but you keep coming back for more. Always trying to score points like you're playing sports. Tell me what we're really doing all this for. Falling from grace, how'd I get so far? I hate the way that I gave you those scars. Jumped the fence too hard, then you caught a bar. I was walking on a tightrope way too long, trying to balance everything, now you're gone. It was so wrong, it was so wrong. It was so wrong, yeah, it was so wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I went from the end.
What's Drewski doing?
Now I'm starting to end. Don't give a fuck. Oh.
This is a crazy part to just record. Right, we're in Skylar's car. Look at this nasty shit. It's like you guys ash everywhere but the fucking ashtray.
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay, man.
No, it's alright. I literally can't.
I just work here.
Can
Alright.
our Mike's way be in the vlog?
Yo, can I have it Mike's way?
Mike's way.
Yo, make sure Mike has his
Is
way.
that Mike's way?
So it's actually Mike's way. I don't know if you knew.
Dude, you got here so fast, bro.
Yeah,
Me?
I think I thought I was beating you
Bro,
guys.
she was like, I'm pretty sure I passed him. I go,
Yeah, tell him what happened.
What?
So guys,
Yeah,
on my way home.
Here, I'll show them. I'll show the camera if you want. I'll take you for a
So
little trip.
on my way
Let me
home,
tell you.
I'm driving this guy home, right? Because he has a curfew at 10 p.m.
I do.
And I'm driving, and this guy and that guy decided, haha, let's pass by her and let's go like this. So
We did do that.
I
didn't tell her speed up.
So I speed up, okay? No one told me to, I just did it on my own, alright?
I'm rolling a blunt. I'm rolling a blunt in the passenger seat. I finally break down all my weed. I'm going to get.
Oh my God, this one
I
is
bend
so
down to go get a blunt. Boom! It sounds like we get fucking.
My fucking hood, okay, so like basically the hood of my car has been like latched, but not fully latched. I just ashed on you. And it's been like flapping up and down when I go really fast.
So the pack's
and
on
then
you?
it just
think it
blew
was already
up,
on me.
smashes out my sunroof.
got
My
me good
sunroof
right.
is literally
Literally smashed the
non-existent.
sunroof.
Glass all over me in bed. I'm like,
I
pull over.
still have glass embedded
me too.
in my head.
Me too. Me too. My hair's
Gotta
pulled
get
back.
it
I
out.
can't even like go like this.
All right, camera.
But
Let me show you.
then-
I'm gonna take you guys for a
Yeah,
little trip. I'm gonna
everything's
show them the
smashed
car.
out. My windshield is
You
cracked.
can flip the camera with this little button.
Oh, you can? All right,
Yeah,
cool.
it's touchscreen.
All right, say less. What's up, camera? It's your boy. It's your boy. It's your boy Skiznip. But nah, peep. Peep, camera. I don't know if you can see. There is no window here right now. Broken. Over there, broken. Oh, you can see the damage on this bitch. Yeah, that's that. So yeah, you know, sad day for the gang. That's really about it. Sad day for the gang. But back to your back to the father.
That's why I'm sitting here.
What up?
So back to father.
Hello.
Dude, that thing is so dumb.
Yeah, wait, let me read this comment. Let me read what
Nothing.
made me start vlogging today. On the last video I posted, I decided to sign back into my YouTube channel and I get this comment.
It's a comment.
The level of self-awareness is refreshing. TBH, you have a motivational speaker vibe. Good to see you are understanding what needs to be changed even though it might be difficult. Keep your head up. Even though I've never seen your account before, today I hope you keep posting and hope you keep a level head.
Oh, shout out to that guy.
That's what I'm
Shout
saying.
out to that guy.
And it literally made me pick up my camera and start recording. That's when you guys came in.
He's
so.
you're the reason why the windshield didn't get broken. You're the angel. That
You
we were
showed them?
looking for.
You showed them?
I showed them. Look at the front hood. Look at the front hood. The front hood. You can see it. You can see
Wait,
it.
yeah, let
You
me
can
put
see-
some light on it.
Yeah, you can see it, bro. And you can see Ben's shoe stomping it down. You can see Ben stomping it down. You showed them. For a second, I barely showed them. Let me show.
Laugh at y'all sip like
We're 100% laughing at Yosef like that.
Oh my god. What are the odds of that? That's fucking crazy. Okay. Oh wait, face tracking is enabled. Oh, that's so cool. This thing is so high tech, bro. My house is a little bit of a mess. I have not been super productive this week. Well, I have been, but there's a lot of things emotionally going on with me. You know, I'm still trying to persevere through dealing with the breakup. She kept coming back, kept leaving again, and it's been a hard emotional thing to deal with. Happens, right? But I've been working on something that's been like making me not lose sleep, but like metaphorically, like I've been like about this shit, right? Basically, OpenClaw and me are like, bah. About a year ago, I started working on my personal AI assistant named Goddard. And Goddard's whole purpose is basically like I was trying to use N8N, which is like basically it's like drag and drop, kind of like looks like Scratch if you know like that super simple programming thing. It's like a visual thing that would allow you to build blocks and then have like an agentic AI, and then you could put things underneath it and have like your calendar hooked up, and then you could put in a prompt to be like, what's on my to-do list, and it would pull up your to-do list and that kind of shit. And it was super slow. I tried to use it with the voice. I tried to give it a phone number. It was extremely laggy and slow. And then I found out about OpenClaw, and I was like, oh, I have a 3090, 24 gigs of VRAM. Let's get it going with a local model. Local model's too slow. So I'm like, how can I get this better? I tried to use Claude. I ran through like $100 worth of tokens on Claude. So Claude's not the move. So I started using DeepSeek. And basically, I just want to give an overview of what I'm building, so it kind of makes sense, you know, a little bit. Basically, Goddard is going to be someone I talk to or interact with that has access to an abundance of information about me. And I've been trying to like design this system and implement it properly. So basically I made a Discord for it. I can send voice notes to it. It now sends voice notes back to me. I trained a local voice model off of a cloud voice model, so I wouldn't have to pay for API usage on that, made it cheaper. We're using DeepSeek as the main AI. I'm using QN14B as my coding AI. And here's kind of the structure I built. So like my main agent and sub agent. So we got Goddard is the main agent, the orchestrator of everything. Then we have a financial tracker, which is going to be using Plaid, which is going to connect all of my bank accounts and have like budgets and stuff and kind of my financial goals. A calendar and planner, so I can stay on top of my to-dos. My to-do master, which is going to be specifically like the ranking of order of things I'm trying to work on for Goddard. What am I trying to implement into Goddard? And then things I need to do in my life, right? And then project manager. So there's a lot here. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around this because I really want this to be a really impressive system. And it's something I'm not really a programmer or a coder, so this is all kind of new to me. So the project manager, basically the point is like I have my RV, I have my cars, I have things I'm trying to do in my life. So my project manager is basically going to have agents underneath it, and it's going to have my vehicle specialist, which I hope to basically put in the VINs of my 3 cars, and then I'm looking for this part, or I need this, and I don't have to go digging through forms to figure out which one is which or like whatever. It just automatically knows this is the part number for your year model, make and model, this specific month it was made in, like all that stuff, because it gets kind of weird in the Beamer stuff. And then an inventory tracker, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to input all of the tools I own, all of the extra parts I have, all of the oil I have, all that kind of stuff. So I always have like a database where I'm like, oh, I want to do an oil change in my car. And it's like, oh, you already got 3 quarts sitting over there. You know, so it just like kind of keeps everything more organized. And then I have Linus, which I named it after Linus, the guy who made Linux. And Linus is going to be my coding agent that like helps me build programs and stuff. But also I want it to be an agent that does security audits. So once a week it will do a security audit on my OpenClaw to make sure I'm not just exposing myself, because I don't know much about internet security and I'm not really like an IT guy. So I basically want an AI that's going to be kind of like looking at all the things that I'm building and going, okay, yeah, this is good. Or like, whoa, bro, you got to fucking chill out. Like you're port forwarding whatever the fuck to the mainframe and you're giving out your credit card details. Like I just want something that's going to like kind of check me. And then a restore archivist. So basically I built this sub-agent that it's going to once a week go through all of the things that I build. So if I add things or take things away, it's going to keep a modern log of everything that I'm using in this entire OpenClaw. so that, except for API keys and secrets, right? And then I will be able to pull that, and I could start with a fresh OpenClaw, put this in, and then, okay, I need these API keys, boom, punch the API keys in, and I have a working model of what I've already built. So then it could be deployable to anyone, right? So once I get this really working well, I want to be able to just be like, here's the best personal assistant ever, to people, right? And yeah, I've just been trying to wrap my head around this whole thing and understand token usage, and it's new, man, and it's such a bleeding edge field, and it sucks because AI is pretty scary. I mean, we all know it's coming for jobs and stuff, and I'm definitely worried about it, and it sucks because like I always romanticize like running away and working on a laptop in like the palm trees and just like whoop, whoop, whoop for 4 hours and then being lit enough to live off. And it just seems like AI is going to kind of make that irrelevant or really, really hard to do. So I just want to use this to optimize myself. I mean, that's what this whole YouTube channel is about, and that's kind of why I'm talking about it, is like these are the seeds. Like I have just started using this. I think I made this on the 30th. I wiped my computer, gave it a fresh install of Windows, fresh OpenClaw, boom, we're here with it. And so I talked to it in Discord. I'm still trying to set up phone integration. Phone integration is so weird because 11 Labs, I don't know if anyone seeing this has used 11 Labs, but the way 11 Labs works is it has all its own LLM shit, and then it like would webhook to OpenClaw to get information. And I don't want to talk, when I talk to the AI, I want to talk to Goddard. I want to talk to the AI that I'm building that knows what the fuck is going on. I don't want to talk to an AI that's just like, let me grab that data for you. It's like, what's the point of me building this extreme fucking super Chad AI, right? And then just like talking to a dweeb. It doesn't really make much sense to me. And so I basically am trying to figure out, which DeepSeek is not good at this. Claude had it working for a minute, but this morning I put $50 on Claude. And by like 10 a.m., I was out of $50. I was like, what the fuck? So, I don't care if I have to go a little longer. I'm not just like gonna throw money in a fire. And it's weird because like it built it was working. I was able to call the phone number and talk to it. And then I get DeepSeek involved, and DeepSeek just breaks it, and then it's like, I don't know how to fix it. And it's like, fuck, dude. Like, so there's definitely like a learning curve, and the shit is not perfect. But if I get this shit in the right way, where it's like the architecture is so clear and concise, it's like a publishable thing that like, now I have this personal assistant. Like I could sell somebody this thing that I've probably put 15 hours into this already, and just trying to understand everything. So it's like then it becomes something of value. And it's not that I necessarily want to sell it, but like if it could be advantageous to me and all these hours I put in, maybe I could get something back for it. I think that'd be cool. I could find out some sort of pricing model. I'm not greedily like, oh, I need to charge for this, but it's like I want to do something with this. I want to be able to be kind of in the new financial class, so to speak. Like I don't want to be left behind and like not learn this stuff when shit comes down to how it's coming down. Sorry to be a little tinfoil hatted. And so yeah, I've just been really trying to learn this. And then one of my financial goals, I was writing this down because I'm still trying to like, I have to use paper and like this is also confusing. So this is kind of what I'm working on here. So like one of the AI goals of my financial AI Goddard is to be able to dynamically assess money coming in and out of accounts for bills and understand all financial goals and budgets, i.e. Budgets for cars, my RV, my debts, vacations, clothes, home goods, and tools. And then be like, oh, we're trying to get this project done, so we should buy these tools when this money comes in. Or, oh, not this much money's coming in, okay, just worry about debt this week. Don't worry about it. And I want it to be very dynamically allocated like that. And I don't know if this shit is capable of it, but I'm trying. I'm trying to see where the sauce is, because like, bro, if you could just make something that like just autopilots all the bullshit. I have so much bullshit. I have to like rebuild the entire rear end of my wagon. I have to source all the parts for that. I have to hunt for the prices for that. I have to budget that in. I have to stay on track financially, on top of trying to be in the gym, on top of trying to improve myself and be in therapy and do all of these things. And it's like, if I could just build a robot that handles most of the medial tasks and I could just focus on making money and being the best version of myself, that's half the battle, right? And so it seems like 15 hours this week of, hustling and bustling on a fucking robot might seem like a waste of time. But over the next year, if I can get this thing working, this is going to be extremely advantageous. So I think I'm going to stitch in me drinking with my friends last night. I had a lot of fun last night. It was good to see the homies. And yeah, I'm just trying to get caught up on everything. I went to the dentist. I got a cavity filled. I've been trying to get filled for 6 months, but just like executive function. I completely quit Adderall. Stop taking Adderall. Don't want to take Adderall anymore. I was on and off Adderall for 6 years, and I would only take it like 3 or 4 times a week, because if I took it too much, I noticed, this is the weirdest thing, because I make a lot of music, right? And I noticed I'd be less creative if I was taking it consistently, which was like a red flag. I didn't really realize the oxidative stress and like how much it was affecting my relationships and stuff, because I would just be pissed the fuck off all the time, which is sad. But you live and you learn, and I realized that I'd rather be at 70% function than an asshole. So yeah, we're figuring things out. I'm gonna have a bigger overview, I'm still getting all of these tools working. This is just like an overview of the architecture of what I'm designing. And as soon as I get it to a point that is more concise and presentable, I really want to show it off and like be able to talk more about it and have visuals and like show what I'm doing. But right now it's kind of willy-nilly. I just today made all these agents that I was just going over. Let's one more time wrap it up. We got Goddard, the main agent. We got the financial tracker, calendar and planner, to-do master, the project manager, vehicle specialist, inventory tracker, Linus, my system master, and then the restore archivist. So I'm building this structure that's basically like self-auditing, super intelligent, has all these tools that it can use. And I mean, there's still a lot of things I want to grow. So like one thing I want to implement within the next week is to be able to have like a morning report where it's telling me all my shit I have going on today. A good motivational quote, how the stock market's doing, if there's any big news in alternative energies or anything like that, like just knowing about what's going on and kind of getting a phone call, because I like phone calls. I like talking. I don't want to just sit and like at a computer, And so like for me, if I could just talk to this thing and be like, hey, so I was thinking about picking up this tool for this project. Do I have enough money to do that? And they're like, yeah. It just like offloads some of the mental pressure, especially with executive function issues. It would just give me a lot more time to be a human, because I the things you own you, and I like was just so impulsive in my early 20s, and I like got myself into a bunch of shit, and now it's hard because I love the things that I have. Like I love my cars. I'm a car guy. I like cars, but 3 BMWs was kind of stupid. An RV with water damage was kind of stupid, and putting myself in as much debt as I did was kind of stupid. So I'm currently trying to dig myself out, become a better version of myself, and this is just a system to kind of help alleviate some of that stress. And so if you have any interest in seeing that get built, follow me, subscribe please, and we'll get to it. And yeah, I'm working on a bunch of music, trying to get all this shit figured out, and you know what it is, all those things I talked about, you know what I'm doing here. This is all about being the best version of yourself. And yeah, see if I have anything else. Yeah, I saw 2 very good homies. It was good to see my friends. Literally like today's April 3rd, and before yesterday, the last time I like hung out with people and like was around friends, right, was fucking March 14th. And it's just such a tough thing. And my ex is really, it's not her fault, but her mental state and its effect on me has been pretty grand. She hates me because of the patterns we fell into our relationship, which I totally understand. I mean, we both got really, really toxic with each other. But the thing that I don't like and don't really understand is the complete blame of me. Like, it takes 2 people to be like that. I've never been like that with another girlfriend. I tried to leave so many times, she wouldn't let me leave. I literally tried to leave less than a week before we broke up, and she was like, you can't leave. I was like, okay, well, I love you. And then she was like, psych, I cheated on you and I'm leaving you forever. And then she kept showing back up at my house, kept telling me she needs me, kept sleeping with me, and then telling me not to tell anyone. And like, it got to a point where she called me and she just like tore me a new one about like how bad of a person I was. And I was having a panic attack like after the phone call. And like, I know this is a lot, but I just kind of want to share, like, this is part of the journey, right? So I was having like a freak out about kind of how bad it was. but she made me adamantly swear that I would not tell anyone that we were talking. And so I was having this panic attack, and then I realized, like, I need to talk to someone, but I felt so guilty about reaching out to somebody who would know that I was talking to her, and then I would be in trouble with her. You know, this is really weird and hard to talk about, but I was freaking out, and then I just decided to call her, and then we ended up hanging out and sleeping together, and it just spiraled back. And then a couple days after that, we had hung out like twice that week. We had talked for an entire week straight, and it was very clear that she's like, I don't respect you or want to be with you, but I want to be around you, which to me tells me, like, I'm not as bad of a person as she's saying to me that I am. And then we got in her car, or no, she got in my car, and she was just telling me she was hanging out with me because she was bored, and I was like, that doesn't really make me feel good, right? And she starts screaming at me, dude. And I'm trying to heal from this, and I'm trying to recognize what I did wrong, so I was very level-headed through it all. And I just realized, like, how bad it was from her side, because I'd been so focused on what I was doing wrong that I kind of looked at her as this point of innocence where, like, oh, it's because of me, right? And then I'm in this car and she's screaming at me. And then halfway through, I said, I feel like you're using me. And she's like, for what? I was like, for energy, for sex. And she was like, you need to get off your high horse. You're not that special. Like, I could fuck anyone I want. Like, you know, and I was just like, you're such a bitch. Like, why would you ever say that to somebody who loves you? Like, that's just such a horrible thing to say. And then she tried to justify all of the negativity in that entire conversation by me calling her a bitch in real time. I watched that happen. After 30 minutes of being yelled at, I was yelling at you because you called me a bitch 30 minutes later. And and so I told her I don't want to speak. I don't want to hang out anymore. I don't want to do this. And then she reached out again, because I told her she could reach out in emergencies because I don't want her to feel alone. I'm trying to be supportive, and I understand that she's just mentally going through a lot because of this breakup. And she reaches out again, and I tried to tell her that, like, I don't feel safe talking to her. And she's like, why? And I was like, I don't think you're a good person. I was like, realistically, you're lying to me about your intention. She admitted she was sleeping with me just to keep me close to her, not because she, like, wanted that. She was using it as a tactic to keep me around, and said that openly. And I was like, what the fuck? So in a slipped judgment, I called her out on that, and then she fucking tweaked harder. And now it's at a point where I woke up the next day, and I already knew that I didn't want to talk to her, but now she's like, I don't want anything to do with you. I was like, okay. So I went off island, I got the rest of her stuff, and we're meeting this week to give each other our stuff. And I told her, I was like, look, like, I really wanted to be here for you, but it's very clear, like, we both need to not talk at all. I mean, anyone listening to this would be like, what the fuck are you doing, dude, right? And yeah, I told her I would unblock her in 6 months. And I don't think it's because I want to get back together. At this point, I know I shouldn't go back to her. I don't think she'd ever respect me the same, especially with how she's spoken to me. But it just sucks when you, like, that was the most I've ever loved anyone. And seeing that whole thing play out the way it did, it really hurts. But at the same time, I've grown so much in this past 3 months. Almost 90 days exactly. It's like 92 days, right? So it's been a long 3 months, and it's been a lot of recovery. But what I realized is, like, the times where she was coming around, the times where this chaos and turmoilous events were going on, I stopped showing up for myself as much. I started getting really down. It was hard to get out of bed. And I started falling back into, like, a depressive rut, where it's like this relationship, losing this girl who I loved so much, was this bad. But then her coming back around and just digging the knife in, twisting it, just made it 10 times worse. And so it's for the best that me and her both don't talk. I know this is like a weird kind of like vent, but anyone going through that, man, just like, it's gonna be okay. And that's what I remind myself of, is like, it gets better, and you gotta find something that makes you tick, man. You can't just like dwell on how things could have been, or if they feel remorse for how they behave. You just gotta let it go and try to be the best version of yourself. And so that's why, like, it's kind of embarrassing. And I don't mean to use it as like a cop-out, like, oh, I'm not going as hard as I should on myself because of X. But I have been doing a lot better. Like, I have been prepping a lot of food. I haven't been in the gym as much as I should be, but I'm going at least 3 days a week. And I'm getting there. And my money's better. My relationship with my jobs are better. The friends that I do have, I'm very supportive of and, like, very thankful for. And, like, I'm trying not to take people for granted. I was somebody who always had to be around other people, like, growing up. I was never somebody who focused on being alone. And this literally feels like the universe is like, oh, you've ignored this lesson so many times. I'm going to plop you out of all of your social circles and set you alone. And now what? And so now I'm forced to introspect, and I'm forced to look inwards, and I see the work that I have to do, and I'm excited for it. I'm not running this time, and I'm trying not to use substance. I'm still smoking a little bit of cigarettes. I tried to quit the vape, and then I was around some people who were smoking cigarettes a couple days ago, so I smoked a fucking cigarette. But I'm not drinking very much. I drank since me and her broke up. I have drank 3 times. I drank on my cruise, I drank on my boy's birthday, and then my boy who got out of jail, we went go-karting yesterday, had some drinks. It was pretty fun. And I'm just trying to not run from things. Like, even, like, this is going to sound weird, but, like, this toxic situation I'm describing with my ex, I felt like inclined to lean into it. And not in a toxic way to just, like, be combative, but, like, in a way of, I want to lean into this because this is the most like, her telling me that she's probably going to move on with another guy. She literally said she might date him because he has a boat this summer. And I was like, oh my God, what is it? Like, it just made me look at her differently because I provided housing for her and I took her to Asia and, like, we did all these things together. And, like, hearing her say that about another guy made me realize, like, how transactional of a person she is. And it really hurt. But still, I'm here introspecting and looking into the abyss and going, to learn more about myself. Like, even though it's so hard, and even though 90% of people would do avoidant behaviors in this situation, they would cut her off, block her completely, no, get away. I tried really, really hard to look into the thing that was hurting me and try to feel where it was hurting and try to understand why. Why does this hurt? Why do people do the things they do? And I learned a lot from that. And I will say that, like, in a controlled environment, that's something worth doing in life. But if it gets to a point where it makes it hard to get out of bed and show up for yourself, then you kind of got to check out, right? And so I tried to do the complete stoic Chad, wall, I'm here for you, even though you're literally spitting in my face. I could only do it for, I guess, 3 months was my limit. And yeah, now it's just onwards to bigger and better things. I'm struggling with being alone. Like, I've also been a serial monogamist my whole life. Like, I've always had a girlfriend. And my friend asked me this the other day. He's like, when's the last time you were single for a year? I'm 26 years old. The last time I was single for a year was half my life ago. Think about that. I was 13 when I was last single for a whole year straight. And it's I'm a charmer. Like, it's not like, even in my times where like, I gotta work on myself, someone really nice will come along, some really nice lady, and I'm like, of course, like, I want to spend time with nice people and be around nice ladies. And I love love. I've always wanted to find my wife. I've always wanted to be with somebody and, like, pour into that. But sadly, because I avoid focusing on myself so much, and I've been such an avoidant running person my entire life, if you want everyone to fill your cup, that's how you get poisoned, right? And I've allowed such bad behavior in my relationships, and it's made me into somebody who exhibits such bad behaviors. And so I need to be single, and I feel the craving of that more than drugs. I feel the craving of being close to somebody, and especially the loneliness of, like, your mid-late 20s where, like, I live in a super small community. Brianna just turned 21. I'm not going out to the bar and gonna see her, like, mac on a dude at the bar. That would really hurt. So I have no interest in going out to the bar. I'm also not drinking, so, like, horrible social situation, right? And I lost a bunch of friends. And the friends that I do have here like drinking and going out, and we're just on different types of time. So it's like, I feel very isolated. But I'm also very proud of myself for, like, not just, like, losing it. Like, I'm trying to show up for myself for the first time. And yeah, kind of a yap. But AI systems getting built. Cut out my toxic ex. We're moving forward, people. That's my progress update, And it, you know, progress doesn't always look like this. Sometimes it's, you know, sometimes it's a little bit like this. And it's still progress. You're still learning. I mean, that's the whole point of life, is the journey. It's all, even the bad points, you'll look back, like think about you right now watching this. If you're still watching, thank you for still watching. But think about 5 years ago, right? Think about the worst thing that was happening 5 years ago. There's probably a little part of you that, like, not romanticizes it, but like remembers it fondly, like the struggle, right? Like, I remember a fun example. This was a couple more years than 5, but like I sold my car because I thought I was gonna get approved for a loan, and then because I didn't live with my co-signer, because it was my ex-girlfriend's mom who was gonna co-sign me, which was weird as fuck, but she was gonna co-sign me, really nice lady, and I got denied for the loan because we didn't live at the same address. I was like, oh, fuck, you know? And so I was carless for 3 months. I had just left college, dropped out. I went to school for music at a private school. Stupid idea. Wasn't gonna make any money, so I was like, fuck it, I'm out. And so I moved in with my dad, who I was kind of not very close with, in a town I had never lived in, like never lived fully in. I lived there in high school, but I would go to school on the island that I lived on, so I would commute over a boat every day for school, and then I would couch hop, and then as soon as I turned 18 my senior year, I was out. And so like now I'm 19, moving in with my dad in this, I have an RV in his yard, not this RV, another RV, which is still owned, which is so stupid. But I'm living in this RV, I have no fucking car, and I work 3 miles away at AutoZone, and I have to walk in the fucking snow to work, and I don't know anyone. And like, that was so bleak. It was like, in college, everyone would be like, yo, Boo Man, and like, because that's my nickname, and so everyone was like, yo, Boo Man, and we was so hype, and I would like got in champagne chugging contests, and I was just like Himothy, and I was just having a blast, right? And then to go from the highs of that to I leave college, all the people who were like, yo, we're boys for life, bro, or they're gone, and now I'm in a town, no car, no friends, and just fucking putting along to AutoZone. It was lit. Like, it was, at the time, I was like, oh my fucking God. But I look back and I was like, you know what? That was a good time. I liked working at AutoZone. I have some funny memories from there. Like, 3 or 4 people there who I worked with didn't have teeth. And the head lady stunk like cheese. She's a big fat lady. And she would yell at me all the time for wearing a brown belt instead of a black belt at AutoZone. And I was just like, hey, dude, like, no, fuck you, you know? And it was just like this whole battle. And yeah, there was this dude who was like 75 there. He was super cool. He was like in the first couple years of the Coast Guard, he like served in the Coast Guard, and he was just like, yeah, back in my day. So it was fucking, and it was just like, wow, this is a cool spot. There was one dude who's like, he worked on helicopters for the Coast Guard. He would like get flown down to the Caribbean when there was like hurricanes and shit and fix shit, and then he'd just be sitting there and he's like, yeah, I have another job. I'm just like here because I want a boat. And that guy was fucking lit. 1996 Toyota 4Runner water pump gasket looks like a dick. He showed me that, and I thought that was pretty funny. But you know what I'm saying? Like, my whole point of saying this is like, even the bad times, bro. The bad times, you look back and you're just like, I learned so much about myself in those times, and there's a reason to keep going. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's a moment here where I'm just like, maybe this is it for me. You know, maybe I'm cooked. And those thoughts are normal. And you just got to remember, like, you're going to look back on a chapter in your life where you were forced to grow, and you're going to be thankful that you were put through that chapter. You know? And so, yeah, man. Just another video of me talking to the void. And if I reach even one person, if you think any of the AI shit's cool, if you know, whatever, man. This is for you. So, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to start doing more structured videos. It's just like one of the biggest things, one of the thorns, you know, what's the analogy of like a lion with the thorn in its foot? I had to get the thorn out of my foot. And this relationship that I'm leaving, as much as I absolutely adore this person, I mean, fundamentally it seems like we're not compatible. And it's a really hard thing for me to accept because I'm very stubborn and I don't give up on love. I don't give up on people. But I gotta kind of move on and focus on myself. And so now that that's out of the way, we're up. Yeet. You know, this is so funny that it's followed. Yeah, okay. I'm going, but it's nice to talk to y'all. I hope everything's going on. Everything's going on. I hope everything's going on, man. I hope everything's good in your life. And if you made it this far, tell me a story from the struggle that you remember fondly. I'd love to hear like what what silver lining you found in your darkness.
I got a PhD in testing loyalty. That's why me and motherfuckers never seem to speak. They be looking geeks when I pop out with the freaks. Big homie just got back last week. If you got some shit to say, you better take a seat. You could get pressed like a goddamn tea. I'll be burning bridges, watch you fall into the